Ever wondered why your phone seems to know exactly which ads to show you? Or how a seemingly harmless app can suddenly demand access to your entire contact list? It's not just coincidence, and it's certainly not always about making your life easier. We live in an age where data is the new oil, and the pipelines carrying that oil are often less secure than we'd like to believe. But what happens when those pipelines cross international borders and the players involved have very different ideas about what constitutes fair play? Today, we're diving headfirst into the murky world of cybersecurity, but with a distinctly Canadian twist. Forget generic warnings about phishing scams. We're talking about the geopolitical tightrope walk Canada finds itself on, caught between the cybersecurity ambitions of the United States and China. It's a situation that's becoming increasingly complex, with every TikTok download and every Huawei 5G debate adding another layer of intrigue. And let's be honest, most Canadians are blissfully unaware of the digital chess game being played with their personal information as pawns. The reality is, cybersecurity isn't just a tech issue. It's a national security issue, an economic issue, and increasingly, a foreign policy issue. Think about the critical infrastructure that keeps our country running: power grids, water treatment plants, even our hospitals. All of these are vulnerable to cyber attacks, and the potential consequences are staggering. Now, factor in the growing tensions between the U.S. and China, both vying for global dominance in the digital realm. Canada, with its close ties to both nations, finds itself in a precarious position. Do we align ourselves more closely with our American allies, potentially jeopardizing trade relations with China? Or do we attempt to maintain a neutral stance, risking the ire of both superpowers? This isn't just about choosing sides. It's about protecting Canadian interests in a world where the rules of engagement are constantly shifting. It's about ensuring our businesses can compete fairly on the global stage, without fear of intellectual property theft or cyber espionage. It's about safeguarding the privacy of Canadian citizens, whose data is increasingly vulnerable to exploitation by foreign entities. And it's about maintaining our sovereignty in an era where cyber attacks can be just as damaging as traditional acts of aggression. So, buckle up, because we're about to unpack the complexities of this digital dilemma. We'll be exploring the key players, the underlying technologies, and the potential consequences of Canada's choices. We'll delve into the specific threats posed by China's cyber capabilities and the pressures exerted by the United States to counter those threats. And we'll consider what a responsible, forward-thinking cybersecurity strategy might look like for Canada, one that protects our interests while navigating the treacherous waters of international relations. This isn't just about bits and bytes. It's about the future of Canada in a digital world. C'est clair que la cybersécurité est au cœur des enjeux mondiaux, mais pour bien comprendre la situation canadienne, faut remonter un peu dans le temps. On parle pas juste des débuts d'Internet, mais plutôt de l'évolution de la Chine comme joueur majeur dans le domaine technologique. Dans les années 80-90, la Chine était surtout un pays manufacturier, mais le gouvernement a vite réalisé l'importance de l'investissement dans la recherche et le développement. On a vu une explosion d'entreprises technologiques, souvent soutenues par l'État, qui ont commencé à rivaliser avec les géants occidentaux. Cela dit, cette ascension fulgurante n'a pas été sans controverse. Il y a eu des accusations de vol, de propriété intellectuelle, d'espionnage industriel et de pratiques commerciales déloyales. Ces allégations, souvent portées par les États-Unis, ont jeté une ombre sur la réputation de certaines entreprises chinoises, comme Huawei. Pensez-y un peu. Huawei est devenu un leader mondial dans les équipements de télécommunications, mais son lien étroit avec le gouvernement chinois a soulevé des inquiétudes quant à la sécurité de ses produits. Est-ce qu'on peut vraiment faire confiance à une entreprise qui est potentiellement obligée de collaborer avec les services de renseignement chinois? Ou c'est une question qui divise les experts et les politiciens? Au Canada, on a pris un certain temps avant de se positionner clairement sur la question de Huawei et de la 5G. Il y avait des pressions de la part des États-Unis pour interdire l'entreprise, mais aussi des considérations économiques. Huawei offre des équipements à des prix compétitifs, ce qui est tentant pour les fournisseurs de services de télécommunications. faudrait pas non plus oublier que le Canada a une forte diaspora chinoise et que les relations avec la Chine sont importantes pour le commerce et l'investissement. Par contre, faut aussi tenir compte des préoccupations de nos alliés, en particulier les États-Unis. Les services de renseignement américains ont averti à plusieurs reprises des risques liés à l'utilisation des équipements de Huawei, soulignant la possibilité d'espionnage et de sabotage. Le Canada a donc dû peser le pour et le contre, en tenant compte de ses propres intérêts et de ses obligations internationales. En fin de compte, la décision du gouvernement canadien d'interdire Huawei de son réseau 5G a été un signal clair qu'il prenait la cybersécurité au sérieux. Mais ça a aussi eu des conséquences sur les relations avec la Chine. On a vu des représailles économiques et une détérioration générale du climat diplomatique. C'est un exemple concret de la complexité de la situation et des choix difficiles auxquels le Canada est confronté dans le monde numérique. Mais, en même temps, c'est un rappel que la sécurité nationale doit primer sur les considérations économiques à court terme. Right, so we've been kicking around these ideas for a bit now, eh? And if you're anything like me, you're probably starting to see how all these seemingly disparate pieces are fitting together, like a massive jigsaw puzzle of digital intrigue. It's more than just a simple case of good guys versus bad guys, though, isn't it? It's about navigating a landscape where the lines are blurred, the motives are complex, and the stakes are incredibly high. We're not just talking about protecting our bank accounts or preventing identity theft, but about safeguarding the very fabric of our society. Think of it like this. Cybersecurity is the new CPR for the Canadian economy and our national security. We need to know how to administer it, who to trust to administer it, and what the potential consequences are if we don't get it right. And, like any good medical intervention, it requires a delicate balance of expertise, resources, and a whole lot of foresight. We can't afford to be caught flat-footed when the next digital crisis hits. It's not a matter of if, but when. Reflecting on this journey so far, it's become pretty clear that Canada's cybersecurity challenges aren't just about technology. They're deeply intertwined with our foreign policy, our economic interests, and our values as a nation. We're not just consumers of technology, we're also creators and innovators. And that means we have a responsibility to ensure that the digital world we're building is one that reflects our commitment to democracy, human rights, and the rule of law. Now, as we pivot towards the final reflection, let's consider the cumulative effect of these challenges. It's akin to trying to build a house on shifting sands. The foundations need to be solid, the materials need to be resilient, and the construction needs to be meticulous. Otherwise, the whole thing could come tumbling down at any moment. And in this case, the house is our digital infrastructure, and the shifting sands are the ever-evolving threats and geopolitical pressures that we face. It's a tall order, for sure, but it's one that we can't afford to shy away from. Drawing these strands together, we see a picture emerging of Canada at a crossroads. We have the opportunity to be a leader in cybersecurity, to set an example for other nations to follow. But to do that, we need to be proactive, not reactive. We need to invest in education and training, to foster a culture of cybersecurity awareness, and to collaborate with our allies to share information and best practices. And we need to have a clear vision of what we want our digital future to look like, and the courage to stand up for our values in the face of adversity. It's a bit like steering a canoe down a rapid river, eh? You need to keep your eyes on the horizon, paddle hard, and be prepared to adjust course as needed. The final portage is just ahead. So, after all that chin-wagging about cybersecurity and where we stand between the Yanks and the Chinese, what's the real takeaway, eh? It's not just about firewalls and encryption, or even about trade deals and diplomatic handshakes. It's about something deeper, something that touches on the very heart of what it means to be Canadian in this increasingly digital world. It's about safeguarding our values, our sovereignty, and our way of life in a domain that's as real and consequential as the land beneath our feet. Think of it like this. We've always prided ourselves on being a nation that punches above its weight, a country that can navigate complex international relations with grace and skill. We're known for our peacekeeping efforts, our commitment to multilateralism, and our ability to find common ground even when others see only division. But in the realm of cybersecurity, these strengths are put to the ultimate test. Can we maintain our independence and integrity in a world where digital power is increasingly concentrated in the hands of a few global superpowers? Can we protect our citizens and businesses from cyber threats without sacrificing our commitment to privacy and freedom? These aren't easy questions, and there are no simple answers. But one thing is clear: we can't afford to be complacent. We can't afford to bury our heads in the sand and hope that the problem will go away. We need to be proactive, vigilant, and above all, united in our determination to protect our digital interests. This means investing in cybersecurity education and training, strengthening our critical infrastructure, and working closely with our allies to share information and best practices. But it also means having the courage to stand up for our values, even when it's not easy, and even when it means facing economic or political pressure. Maybe, just maybe, this whole cybersecurity kerfuffle is a chance for us to really show what we're made of. A chance to prove that we can be both strong and principled, both innovative and responsible. A chance to carve out our own unique path in the digital world, one that reflects our values and protects our interests. It's a tall order, for sure, but we're Canadians, eh? We've faced tougher challenges before, and we've always found a way to come out on top. So let's roll up our sleeves, get to work, and show the world what we can do. The true practice begins now, and the future of our digital sovereignty depends on it.